It's absolutely disgusting how paedophilia is put out in the public and it's supposed to be like just accepted. And this is about Lord Peter Mandelson. He's the UK's ambassador to the US, and he had a relationship with Jeffrey Epstein after he'd been convicted. Yes, calling him his best pal after he'd been convicted of child sexual abuse. I mean, it'd be bad enough if he'd have been charged, because we all know that it's very difficult to convict a paedophile. So even charged, there's obviously evidence there. You just keep away. But it's like our one round here. You get some people, mainly mature women, that absolutely support them. This is disgusting. And that, he shouldn't be in this position. He's the ambassador to the USA, representing our country. And we've got somebody whose judgment is so poor or doesn't care that they will have a relationship with a convicted paedophile. And he said about his relationship with Epstein, it was for far longer than I should have done. No, it wasn't for far longer. It should never have happened. And this is a problem with people like this. They are so utterly stupid that they think that we're just going to accept this. And he says, I'm so sorry. The only sorry bit is you got found out. Otherwise, we wouldn't know anything about it. But the brass neck of them, that they'll still go for jobs like this, you would think that they would be too embarrassed with all this coming out about them. But no, they're not too embarrassed. They actually get the job. And then the leader of the country actually supports them and can't see anything wrong with it. Well, here's Badenoch at least having a go, and she keeps repeating, and I wish she'd just keep repeating until she got an answer. But I mean, he just backtracks the whole time, and he will not answer the questions that she's giving and saying, is he going to disclose the paperwork that was sent between Mandelson and Epstein? But he won't answer. And he should have to answer. He should be forced to answer those questions that she gives. But he does this with so many things. But this is so important. And he backtracks and backtracks. And then he's sneerily and so ignorant. He then starts talking about how he's, provided schools and just completely goes off the subject. Have a listen to this. It's absolutely disgusting that Starmer, one, is supporting this man, but two, should go anyway, because if he's putting people with backgrounds like this in, who else would he put in government? It's just absolutely outrageous for anybody, for the public, and for victims of child sexual abuse. The man doesn't give stuff, and neither does Starmer, as far as I'm concerned. But listen to Badenoch, and she doesn't get her answers. He will not answer her.
This is interesting, Mr. Speaker. He says the ambassador has expressed full regret, but the victims of the paedophile Jeffrey Epstein have called for Lord Mandelson to be sacked. And just so the House is aware, in 2019, Jeffrey Epstein was convicted of child prostitution and sex trafficking that took place between 2002 and 2005. That is the precise period which Lord Mandelson called Jeffrey Epstein his best pal. Absolutely. Was the Prime Minister aware of this intimate relationship when he appointed Lord Mandelson to be our ambassador in Washington?
Mr. Speaker, as she and the House would expect, full due process was followed during this appointment, as it is with all ambassadors. The ambassador has repeatedly expressed his deep regret. He is right to do so. He's now playing an important part in the US-UK relationship.
Mr. Speaker, I asked the Prime Minister if he knew. The fact that he didn't answer indicates that he probably did know. I wasn't asking a question about process. I was asking a question about his judgment. The Daily Telegraph reports today that while Lord Mandelson was business secretary, he brokered a deal with Jeffrey Epstein while he was business secretary, and that this occurred after Epstein had been convicted of child sex offences. Given this new information, does the Prime Minister really think it is tenable for our ambassador to remain in post?
Mr. Speaker, the relationship between the US and the UK is one of our foremost relationships, and I have confidence in the ambassador in the role that he is doing.
Mr. Speaker, I think it is embarrassing that the Prime Minister is still saying that he has confidence in a man who was brokering deals with convicted child sex offenders while sitting in government. That is a disgrace. This government has repeatedly refused to declare Lord Mandelson's full interests. And as part of the appointment, there will have been extensive government vetting, including details and timings of Peter Mandelson's dealings with Jeffrey Epstein. So will the Prime Minister publish all these documents, including those about his interests?
Well, Mr. Speaker, as I say, full due process was gone through in relation to this appointment, as would be expected. As for the publication of documents, as she well knows, that's subject to a procedure which includes an independent element. It's subject to the usual procedure.
The Prime Minister cannot answer any questions. That is not the behaviour of someone who has full confidence. The Ambassador should be in the White House talking about how we respond to an incursion into NATO airspace. Instead, he is giving interviews about himself to the Sun. Will he make sure that these documents are published? And will he actually instruct Peter Mandelson to publish all his correspondence with Jeffrey Epstein?
Prime Minister. In the meantime, Mr. Speaker, we have been opened up a new schools-based nursery. On Monday, we had the defence